Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Quotes 365. Let's talk about something that always sparks curiosity and perhaps even a bit of excitement. Attraction. Have you ever found yourself wondering, are they really into me? Maybe it's the way their eyes linger just a bit too long, or how their body language seems to shift when you're around. Attraction often speaks in whispers, not shouts, and understanding its subtleties can transform the way you perceive relationships. Imagine this. You're at a gathering, casually chatting with friends. Across the room, someone seems to catch your gaze repeatedly. At first, you think it's just a coincidence, but then you start noticing the small details. They lean in when you talk, their hand brushes against yours as they laugh, or maybe they offer a compliment in a way that feels more meaningful than usual. These moments are like puzzle pieces, and when you put them together, they reveal something deeper, genuine interest. But how do you truly know? How can you decode these seemingly small gestures and be sure they mean what you think they mean? Here's the thing. Friends. People rarely come out and say, "Hey, I like you." Instead, they communicate through subtle signs, often without even realizing it. This is where the magic of observation comes in. With a bit of awareness and a touch of Stoic wisdom, you can learn to recognize these signs and understand the true intentions behind them. This isn't just about romantic attraction, it's about reading the unsaid, navigating human connections, and strengthening the bonds that matter most. In this video, we'll break down 7 powerful signs that someone might be secretly attracted to you. These aren't your typical "they text you first" cliches. No, we're diving into the deep stuff, like how their gaze lingers a little longer than necessary, the way their touch feels deliberate yet natural, and even the compliments they give that seem to carry an unspoken meaning. Each sign is a clue, a small piece of evidence that reveals what words often can't. But here's where Stoicism plays a crucial role. As Stoics, we're not about jumping to conclusions or getting swept up in fleeting emotions. We observe calmly, interpret rationally, and act with intention. These principles are the foundation of understanding attraction. Instead of letting assumptions cloud your judgment, you'll learn to see things as they are. You'll find clarity not just in their actions, but also in your response to them. By the end of this video, you'll have a sharper lens to view your relationships, whether it's recognizing someone's unspoken interest or understanding how you project your own feelings. These insights can help you navigate attraction with grace and confidence, transforming what might feel like a guessing game into a meaningful connection. So, if you've ever wondered what someone's actions really mean or wanted to decode the subtle signals of attraction, you're in the right place. Stick with us as we explore the 7 signs that can reveal someone's hidden feelings for you. Trust me, you'll never look at a lingering glance or a subtle touch the same way again. All right, folks, let's get started. Number 1, the lingering glance. Hey folks, let's talk about something we've all noticed, but might not fully understand. The lingering glance. You know, that subtle, almost fleeting moment when someone's gaze stays just a little longer than normal. It's easy to brush off as coincidence, but in the realm of attraction, it's often the first giveaway. Let's break it down and understand why it matters so much. First, let's address why this lingering glance is such a powerful sign. Eye contact is one of the most intimate, non-verbal ways humans connect. When someone's eyes linger on you, it's like their inner thoughts are momentarily visible. It's not just a look, it's a message. A lingering glance speaks volumes about curiosity, intrigue, and an unspoken interest that words might struggle to express. If you've ever caught someone looking at you a little too long and then quickly looking away, you've just experienced one of these moments. But why does this happen? Attraction often starts subtly. Before someone gathers the courage to approach you or even engage in a deeper conversation, their mind is working overtime to assess their feelings. A lingering glance becomes their way of silently testing the waters, seeing if there's a response from you, or simply indulging in their fascination without the risk of rejection. Now, here's an important part. Not every glance is meaningful. So, how can you tell when it's more than just a random look? The key lies in consistency and context. If this glance happens repeatedly, say, during a casual group conversation or even across the room, it's a clear signal that their attention keeps returning to you. They're drawn to something about you, whether it's your presence, the way you speak, or the energy you bring into the space. Let's make it practical with an example. Imagine being at a small gathering. Conversations are flowing, and you're standing off to the side, sipping your drink. You suddenly notice someone across the room making eye contact. At first, you might think, oh, they're just looking around. But then it happens again and again. Each time, their gaze stays for just a moment longer than you'd expect before they look away. That's no coincidence. That's someone drawn in, unable to resist sneaking those extra moments to appreciate you. Now, here's where Stoicism can play a role. When you notice a lingering glance, what should you do? The Stoic approach is about balance and self-awareness. Instead of overreacting, perhaps reading too much into it or becoming self-conscious, stay grounded. Appreciate the moment, but let your actions remain intentional and composed. If the glance is mutual, meeting their gaze and offering a calm, confident smile can create a subtle yet powerful connection. On the other hand, if you're unsure, it's perfectly fine to remain neutral and let them make the next move. It's also important to note the difference between genuine interest and other motivations. A lingering glance born out of genuine attraction has an unmistakable warmth to it. It feels inviting and respectful. In contrast, someone staring in a way that feels uncomfortable or overly intense could be more about curiosity or even distraction. Trust your instincts here. They're often your best guide. And let's not forget, attraction isn't just about receiving. If you find yourself drawn to someone, the lingering glance can work both ways. By allowing your gaze to linger just a second longer, you communicate interest without saying a word. It's subtle yet effective, a silent conversation between two people who are attuned to each other. So, Stoic friends, the next time you catch someone's lingering glance, remember this. It's a powerful moment of connection. It's not just about them noticing you. It's about understanding the unspoken dynamics of attraction. But as always, approach it with poise and self-respect. Whether you choose to engage or simply appreciate the attention, stay true to yourself. After all, the way you respond speaks volumes about your confidence and emotional intelligence. Before we move on, here's a quick question to reflect on. Have you ever noticed someone's lingering glance toward you? And how did it make you feel? Drop your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear about those moments of unspoken connection. And if you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. The next sign we'll explore is just as intriguing. You won't want to miss it. All right, let's dive deeper. Number 2, the subtle touch. All right, Stoic friends, let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed but carries incredible weight. The subtle touch. A fleeting graze, a light pat on the back, or even a brush of fingers. These are small gestures that can speak louder than any grand declaration of attraction. But why do they matter so much? And how can you spot when someone's trying to send a message through touch? Let's unravel this mystery together. First, let's understand why subtle touches hold such power. Physical touch is one of the most primal and universal ways we communicate affection and interest. While words can be filtered or overthought, a gentle touch comes from a place of instinct. It's raw, intentional, and often unconscious. Think about it. When someone lightly places a hand on your arm during a conversation, it's a way of closing the distance, signaling trust, and perhaps even testing the waters of mutual attraction. Now, here's the key. Not every touch is significant. Context matters immensely. A handshake or a high five? Probably not a declaration of hidden feelings. But if someone goes out of their way to touch your shoulder during a shared laugh or brushes past you just a bit more than necessary, it's worth paying attention. These are not accidents. They're deliberate, even if subtle. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're sitting with a group of friends, talking about something funny. As everyone laughs, one person lightly places their hand on your knee or shoulder, even for just a second. That's not something they did with everyone in the room. It's a small but intentional gesture that says, "I feel connected to you." These moments are like breadcrumbs, leading you toward understanding their feelings. But why is touch such a potent indicator of attraction? It's all about bridging the gap, literally. When someone feels drawn to you, they'll naturally find ways to be closer. A subtle touch is their way of breaking through the invisible barrier of personal space without crossing any lines. It's an expression of vulnerability and trust, two foundational pillars of meaningful connection. Stoicism teaches us the value of awareness and self-control. When you notice a subtle touch, resist the urge to overanalyze it immediately. Instead, observe the broader context. Is this part of their natural behavior, or is it reserved for you? If you're uncertain, reflect on the situation calmly. Let their actions over time clarify their intentions. Stoic composure allows you to approach these moments with confidence rather than anxiety. It's also important to distinguish between a touch that's warm and respectful versus one that feels intrusive. Genuine interest comes with a sense of care and mindfulness. If someone's touch feels uncomfortable or overly calculated, it's okay to set boundaries. Attraction should always come with mutual respect, and your comfort is non-negotiable. Now, let's flip the perspective. What if you're the one feeling drawn to someone? Can you use subtle touch to communicate your interest? Absolutely, but it must come from a place of authenticity. A light touch on their arm when emphasizing a point in conversation, or a warm pat on the back after a shared joke can subtly signal your feelings without overwhelming them. Just remember, subtlety is key. It's not about grabbing their attention forcefully, but gently inviting it. A personal anecdote might help here. Once, a friend of mine realized someone was interested in them because of how they always found excuses for light touches, handing over a cup of coffee, brushing lint off their shirt, or a quick shoulder squeeze during goodbyes. At first, my friend thought these were just kind gestures. But over time, the consistency of these moments revealed a deeper layer of connection. And when the two finally talked about their feelings, those subtle touches became a cherished part of their story. Before we wrap up this section, let's tie it back to what truly matters: authenticity. Whether you're noticing someone's touch or initiating one yourself, let it come from a genuine place. Forced or exaggerated gestures never create the same impact as those rooted in real emotion. So, what's your take on subtle touches? Have you experienced a moment where a simple touch carried a deeper meaning? Drop a comment below and type, "I've felt it," if you've noticed these signs in your own life. I'd love to hear your stories. And if this insight resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more ways to decode attraction and relationships. All right, let's dive into the next sign. Number 3, the unspoken compliment. Have you ever been around someone who seems to shower you with admiration, without saying a single word. This phenomenon, my Stoic friends, is the art of the unspoken compliment. It's subtle, it's powerful, and it can say more than 1,000 words. Let's explore this mysterious yet fascinating sign that someone might be secretly attracted to you. Unspoken compliments are conveyed through actions, expressions, and even moments of silence. Imagine this. Someone you're interacting with listens intently when you speak. Their eyes light up when you share your thoughts, or they go out of their way to make your life easier, without expecting anything in return. These gestures are their way of saying, "You matter to me," or "I notice the little things about you." Let's break this down with some examples. Perhaps they remember your favorite coffee order and bring it to you without being asked. Or maybe they smile a little too warmly when you're around, as if your presence is the highlight of their day. These actions might seem small, but in reality, they're packed with meaning. They're not just being nice. They're showing their attraction in a way that words might fail to capture. Now, let's dive into why unspoken compliments are so impactful. Unlike verbal praise, which can sometimes feel rehearsed or insincere, unspoken compliments are genuine and often unconscious. They stem from a person's admiration and appreciation for you, so they carry a raw authenticity. That lingering glance we talked about earlier, pair it with these subtle gestures, and you've got a cocktail of attraction that's hard to ignore. But why would someone choose unspoken compliments over verbal ones? Often, it comes down to vulnerability. Expressing admiration openly can feel risky. What if the other person doesn't feel the same way? By opting for subtle actions instead of grand declarations, they protect themselves from potential rejection while still signaling their interest. One of the most beautiful things about unspoken compliments is their ability to build deep connections. When someone invests effort into actions that reflect their feelings, they're showing you that their admiration isn't just surface level. They're drawn to who you are, not just what you look like or the things you do. Now, Stoic wisdom teaches us to focus on actions rather than words. This applies perfectly here. When you're deciphering someone's feelings, don't just listen to what they say. Observe what they do. Actions reveal truth in ways words never can. Are they showing up for you when you least expect it? Are they remembering small details about you that others overlook? These are signs that their admiration runs deeper than they're willing to admit out loud. Here's a little tip for recognizing unspoken compliments in relationships. Pay attention to patterns. One random act of kindness might not mean much, but consistent effort speaks volumes. If someone is repeatedly going out of their way to make you feel valued, it's time to acknowledge that they see something special in you. Let's take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you noticed someone subtly admiring you through their actions? Maybe it's a colleague who always supports your ideas in meetings, or a friend who seems to prioritize your happiness. If so, you might be the recipient of unspoken compliments. And if you're still unsure, here's your cue. Watch for how they behave around others. If their efforts seem uniquely directed at you, that's a big clue. Now, let's hear from you. Have you ever received a compliment that wasn't spoken but felt louder than words? Share your story in the comments below and type, "I've felt it," if you've experienced the power of unspoken admiration. Your insights could inspire others to recognize these moments in their own lives. If this resonates with you, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell for more conversations about love, relationships, and the subtle signs of attraction. Let's keep exploring the mysteries of connection together. Onward to the next sign. Number 4, engaging conversations. Let's talk about engaging conversations, those magnetic interactions that seem to flow effortlessly and leave you feeling energized. Have you ever noticed how some people just light up when they talk to you? The way they listen intently, ask questions that matter, and keep the dialogue alive with genuine curiosity. This, my Stoic friends, is a profound sign of attraction. Engaging conversations aren't just about words, they're about connection. When someone is secretly drawn to you, they make an effort to create conversations that resonate on a deeper level. They don't settle for small talk. They dive into topics that reveal your thoughts, values, and dreams. They're not just interested in what you say, they're fascinated by how you think. But what makes a conversation truly engaging? It starts with active listening. Picture this. You're sharing a story, and the other person maintains eye contact, nodding subtly, and responding with thoughtful follow-ups. It's not just politeness, it's a signal that they value your perspective. When someone is attracted to you, their focus shifts entirely to you during these moments. They're not checking their phone or looking over your shoulder. They're fully present. Next comes the art of meaningful questions. People who are secretly interested in you will often ask open-ended questions that encourage you to share more about yourself. They might say, "What inspired you to pursue that hobby?" Or "How did you develop that perspective?" These questions aren't just fillers, they're windows into your world. By asking, they're subtly saying, "I want to understand you better." Engaging conversations also involve shared vulnerability. When someone feels a connection with you, they'll often share personal anecdotes or insights about themselves. This isn't just casual oversharing, it's a way of building trust and intimacy. If they open up about their struggles, their aspirations, or their fears, they're inviting you into their inner circle. This level of openness often signals deeper feelings than they're ready to admit. On the flip side, notice how they respond when you share something personal. Do they show empathy and offer support? Or do they glaze over the details and steer the conversation elsewhere? Someone who's genuinely drawn to you will treat your stories with care, making you feel heard and valued. Now, Stoicism teaches us the importance of meaningful connections, not just fleeting exchanges. In engaging conversations, there's an underlying principle. The focus isn't solely on you or them. It's on the mutual exchange of ideas and emotions. A true connection is built on balance. They share, you share, and together you create a dialogue that feels effortless. Let's not overlook humor. Laughter is a powerful way to connect, and someone who's secretly attracted to you will often use humor to bridge the gap. They might tease you playfully or share a joke just to see you smile. Pay attention to how often they laugh at your jokes, even the ones that aren't all that funny. It's their way of showing that they enjoy your company and find joy in your presence. One key aspect of engaging conversations is consistency. Anyone can have a great chat once, but if they consistently seek you out for deeper discussions, that's a significant clue. Whether it's through text, calls, or face-to-face interactions, they'll find ways to keep the conversation going. If you notice them circling back to topics you've mentioned before, that's another sign. They're showing you that they've been paying attention. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on your experiences. Have you had conversations where you felt truly seen and understood? Think about the people in your life who make an effort to connect with you beyond surface-level chatter. They might just be revealing feelings they haven't yet spoken aloud. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Who in your life consistently engages you in meaningful conversations? Drop a comment below and type, "They see me," if this resonates with you. Let's celebrate those connections that make us feel valued. And, of course, if you're finding value in these insights, don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the bell icon to stay updated with more relationship wisdom. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to explore more signs of attraction with you in the next segment. Let's keep this journey going. Number 5. The subtle gestures. let's dive into the beauty of subtle gestures. Have you ever felt like someone was trying to tell you something without actually saying it? A glance, a slight movement, a small act of kindness. These are often the quiet indicators of deep attraction. Subtle gestures, though understated, can be louder than words when it comes to revealing someone's true feelings. When someone is secretly drawn to you, their actions will often speak volumes. These gestures might not be grand or obvious, but they carry an emotional weight that's impossible to ignore. Imagine this scenario. You're at a gathering, and someone goes out of their way to hand you a drink before you even ask. Or perhaps they quietly save you a seat next to them. These aren't random acts. They're intentional efforts to connect. What makes these gestures so impactful? It's the thoughtfulness behind them. Someone who is genuinely interested in you will often anticipate your needs without you having to voice them. This is especially significant because it shows they're paying attention to the details of your preferences, habits, and mood. They notice the little things that others overlook. And through their actions, they're trying to make your life a little easier or more enjoyable. Body language also plays a huge role here. A subtle lean toward you during a conversation, mirroring your gestures, or even standing a bit closer than necessary are all signs that someone is trying to bridge the gap between you. These physical cues might seem trivial, but they're often unconscious indicators of attraction. Their body is naturally drawn to yours because their feelings are. Let's talk about protective gestures. Have you ever noticed someone instinctively looking out for you, like holding the door open or walking on the traffic side of the sidewalk? These actions might seem traditional, but they're often deeply rooted in affection and care. When someone genuinely likes you, they want to ensure your safety and comfort, even in small, everyday situations. Another form of subtle gesture lies in the way they prioritize you. Imagine this. You're part of a group conversation, and someone consistently looks to you for your opinion or shares a joke specifically aimed at making you laugh. It's not just about making an impression, it's about making you feel included and valued. These gestures might seem small in isolation, but over time, they paint a picture of someone who genuinely wants to connect. Even the simplest of acts, like remembering your favorite coffee order or offering a jacket when it's cold, carry significant meaning. These actions demonstrate thoughtfulness and an unspoken desire to be part of your world. When someone goes out of their way, even slightly, it's a sign that you hold a special place in their thoughts. One of the most telling gestures is how someone manages their time around you. If they rearrange their schedule or find excuses to spend more time with you, it's clear they're making an effort. People tend to prioritize what matters to them. And if you're on the receiving end of these subtle time investments, it's a strong indicator of their feelings. But let's not forget about digital gestures. In today's world, a lot of interactions happen online. Think about those quick replies to your messages, likes on your social media posts, or even sending a meme they thought you'd enjoy. While these might seem trivial, they're modern-day signs of someone trying to stay connected with you. Now, my Stoic friends, how do we interpret these gestures without overanalyzing? Stoicism teaches us to remain grounded and observe actions without becoming overly attached to their meaning. It's about appreciating the kindness of others while maintaining your own emotional stability. Recognize these subtle cues, but let them unfold naturally without rushing to conclusions. To wrap up this section, let's reflect. Have you noticed someone in your life expressing their feelings through these quiet yet impactful gestures? Share your story in the comments with the phrase, "The little things matter." I'd love to hear about the moments that made you feel valued. And if you're enjoying this exploration of subtle signs of attraction, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of Stoic wisdom. Together, let's continue uncovering the truths of human connection. See you in the next segment. Number 6. Emotional openness, a profound sign of attraction. Let's dive into one of the most powerful indicators of attraction: emotional openness. When someone is truly drawn to you, their walls come down, and they're willing to share parts of themselves they might not reveal to others. This openness isn't about oversharing or dramatic confessions. It's about the subtle yet meaningful ways they let you into their inner world. Have you ever noticed someone sharing their personal thoughts, dreams, or even vulnerabilities with you? That's emotional openness at work. It's a profound sign of trust and attraction because it requires courage to show someone the less polished aspects of ourselves. When a person opens up to you, they're not just seeking your understanding. They're inviting you to be a part of their emotional journey. Think about a time when someone shared a struggle they were facing, perhaps about their career, family, or personal growth. This isn't casual conversation. It's a deliberate choice to let you see their authentic self. People are naturally guarded with their emotions, so when they choose to be vulnerable, it's often because they feel a strong connection with you. Emotional openness can also manifest through active listening. When someone genuinely cares about your thoughts and feelings, they make an effort to understand your perspective. They ask thoughtful questions, remember small details about your life, and follow up on previous conversations. This kind of attentiveness shows they're invested in more than just surface-level interactions. They're building a deeper bond. Another subtle aspect of emotional openness is the way someone reacts to your own vulnerabilities. If they respond with empathy, understanding, and support, it's a sign they're emotionally attuned to you. This reciprocity is a cornerstone of meaningful relationships. It's about creating a safe space where both people can share their truths without fear of judgment. Body language also plays a key role in emotional openness. Pay attention to the way someone's posture, facial expressions, and eye contact shift when they're with you. Do they lean in during conversations? Do their eyes light up when you share something meaningful? These nonverbal cues are often more telling than words because they reflect genuine emotion. Emotional openness doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes, it's as simple as someone admitting they had a bad day or expressing gratitude for your presence. These small moments of honesty are significant because they show that person values your connection enough to be real with you. But here's the catch, my Stoic friends. Not everyone will express emotional openness in the same way. Some people are naturally more reserved, while others wear their hearts on their sleeves. The key is to observe their unique ways of connecting and appreciate the effort they're making to let you in. It's about recognizing their intentions rather than comparing them to a specific standard. So, how do you respond to emotional openness? Stoicism teaches us the importance of balance and self-awareness in our relationships. When someone opens up to you, it's crucial to approach their vulnerability with kindness and respect. Avoid rushing to fix their problems or dismissing their feelings. Instead, simply listen and be present. This creates an environment of mutual trust and understanding. At the same time, it's important to maintain your own emotional balance. While it's wonderful to connect deeply with someone, don't let their emotions overwhelm your sense of self. Remember, Stoicism is about staying grounded, even in the midst of intense experiences. Appreciate their openness, but remain centered in your own values and boundaries. Before we move to the next sign, let's reflect. Have you experienced moments where someone's emotional openness revealed their feelings for you? Maybe it was a conversation where they shared something deeply personal, or a moment when their support made you feel truly seen. Share your story in the comments with the phrase, "Emotional truth matters." Your insights might inspire someone else to recognize the beauty of genuine connection. If you're enjoying this journey into the subtle signs of attraction, make sure to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell. Together, we're unraveling the complexities of human connection, one Stoic principle at a time. Stay with us for the final sign. It might be the most enlightening yet. Number 7. Respectful engagement. Respectful engagement is the hallmark of meaningful attraction and connection. When someone is truly drawn to you, they don't just admire you. They show it in the way they interact, prioritize your feelings, and uphold your dignity. This final sign is subtle yet profound, often revealing itself in how someone values your presence and communicates with you. Respectful engagement begins with attentiveness. When someone is genuinely interested in you, they make an effort to be fully present during your interactions. They don't scroll through their phone while you're talking or let distractions pull them away. Instead, they focus on you, creating a space where you feel heard and valued. This attentiveness reflects more than just good manners. It's a deep acknowledgement of your worth. Another key element of respectful engagement is how they handle differences and disagreements. Let's face it, no relationship is free from conflict. However, the way someone navigates disagreements speaks volumes about their respect for you. Instead of resorting to dismissiveness or aggression, a person who values you will approach conflicts with patience and a willingness to understand your perspective. They'll prioritize finding common ground over winning the argument. Respectful engagement also extends to the way they celebrate your individuality. Someone who is genuinely attracted to you will encourage your growth, celebrate your achievements, and support your aspirations. They won't feel threatened by your success or attempt to undermine your confidence. Instead, they'll take pride in seeing you thrive, recognizing that your happiness contributes to the strength of your connection. This form of engagement often manifests in small, everyday gestures. Think about the times someone remembered a detail you casually mentioned or went out of their way to make you feel special. It could be something as simple as recalling your favorite coffee order or checking in on a challenging project you've been working on. These seemingly minor acts are powerful because they show attentiveness, care, and a genuine desire to make you feel seen. One particularly telling aspect of respectful engagement is the way someone protects your boundaries. When a person values you, they'll respect your limits and never pressure you into situations that make you uncomfortable. This respect isn't just about avoiding conflict, it's about fostering trust and creating an environment where you feel safe to be yourself. Let's take a moment to consider body language, which often reveals respect without words. Respectful engagement can be observed in the way someone maintains eye contact, leans in during conversations, or mirrors your gestures. These nonverbal cues indicate genuine interest and a subconscious effort to align with your energy. Conversely, a lack of such behaviors can signal disinterest or preoccupation. Now, let's connect this to Stoic philosophy. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of virtuous living, which includes treating others with dignity and respect. Respectful engagement is deeply aligned with this principle. It's about creating connections based on mutual appreciation and understanding, rather than manipulation or self-interest. When someone engages with you respectfully, they're honoring your inherent value as a person, which is at the core of Stoic ideals. Here's an important nuance. Respectful engagement doesn't mean someone will always agree with you or cater to your every need. It's not about flattery or appeasement. It's about showing integrity and authenticity in how they interact with you. Someone who respects you might challenge your ideas or encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. but they'll do so with care and consideration. It's worth noting that respect is a two-way street. If you want to foster respectful engagement in your relationships, you must also embody it. Treat others with the same attentiveness, kindness, and regard that you wish to receive. By modeling this behavior, you set the standard for how you expect to be treated and attract individuals who share those values. Before we wrap up this final sign, think about your own experiences. Have you noticed moments when someone's respect for you was unmistakable? Maybe it was the way they prioritized your feelings, supported your goals, or simply made you feel comfortable in your own skin. Share your stories in the comments with the phrase, "Respect is key." Your insights could inspire others to recognize and appreciate the signs of respectful engagement in their own lives. Thank you, Stoic friends, for joining us on this journey to uncover the subtle yet profound signs of attraction and connection. Understanding these cues not only helps you recognize when someone values you, but also empowers you to foster deeper, more authentic relationships. If today's insights resonated with you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and reach others seeking clarity in their relationships. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our next dive into Stoic wisdom and its role in relationships. Before we part, let me leave you with this thought. Respect and attraction go hand in hand, but they start with how you value yourself. Carry that self-respect into every connection, and you'll naturally draw others who align with your worth. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts or experiences with recognizing these signs in your own life. I'd love to hear your stories, and if you're not sure what to comment, just type, "I deserve respect." It's a powerful affirmation to carry with you. Thank you for being here. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay strong, and remember, the most meaningful connections always begin with you. See you in the next video.